Hey, Seth here. I just picked up this new rental. This is my first time walking through it since closing. The seller moved out of it yesterday into a new, bigger, better house. So I do rental properties. This one is in Urbandale. It'll rent for around $2,000. I'm hoping a little bit more, but I don't think with that extensive upgrades, I will get much more than that in this market. At 2000 it cash flows, however, honestly not that great. So I really like the house though. I think it'll appreciate and I can build wealth that way with it. It isn't a good income generating property though, with what I had to pay for it and with what I can get for rent and with some of the improvements I need to make. Today it's really cold outside, so I probably won't film much of the outside. And frankly, the outside is in really good shape. It isn't a new roof, but it is new siding, vinyl siding. I don't really have to do anything out there until spring. I might spruce stuff up a little bit. So just giving you a quick walk around here, and then I'll start back over. This is the dining room, formal dining room. The seller did put in these vinyl floors and actually did a good job with it. So I'm not going to do anything with that. I might raise this low hanging light. I know it makes sense with a table, but I always hate when it's in your eye shot looking outside. So you can see from the kitchen, when you look outside, it's kind of in the way of the window. It's just annoying to me. Not a big deal. I do remove all the window coverings when I buy a rental property. I usually put up mini blinds, but I don't do any cloth curtains usually. I do let the tenants kind of do that on their own if they so choose. So what we'll be doing in here is painting everything. It's not a bad color, but I'll go a pretty neutral, uh, light taupey type color. Um, the name escapes me, but it's a common Sherwin-Williams color everyone kind of uses. Um, we'll remove all the hooks from the walls, make all the little repairs, recaulk everything so it's nice and tight, and then we will put a fresh coat of paint on everything. I change out all the outlets usually, and switches, not because these are bad, but because they're ugly, and I've found that for a few dollars and a little bit of labor, replacing everything with brand new receptacles and plate covers is well worth the investment. Has a newer front door. It's not actually wood, but it does have that wood look. I think it's fiberglass. Actually, a pretty decent door. So I do change out all the hardware, so I know that no one has keys to the house. And when the tenant moves in, I give them a couple sets, and then I keep a set, in case they lock themselves out or I ever need in the property. Obviously, I can't go in without proper notice, but there are times it comes in handy when they move out and things like that. So those are kept in a secured place so no one has access to them. A couple funky things in this one. I don't know why there's a red plate cover, but they do. We'll have to repair. There's some trim on the front closet door that'll need repaired. I usually get rid of ceiling fans if I can. I've found that in rentals, the ceiling fans are more of a nuisance than they are a pro for. As far as the ownership standpoint, I suppose the tenant in some areas likes them. However, they get unbalanced, they don't get cleaned. Um, they're just overall not great for rentals. Again, with this front window, we'll remove all the window coverings, and the windows have been replaced at some point in time. I don't think they're very old. All vinyl, double hung, and then they, you know, uh, double pane, all of that good stuff. So this is the main living room we're in. It's not a very open plan, but it is a nice plan. The main level has a half bath just off the kitchen and living room here. In the kitchen, it has sheet vinyl flooring. none of the flooring really matches each other, but it's in decent shape, so it's hard to justify in a rental replacing all of the flooring. If this was a flip where I'd be selling it for a profit, I would have to replace all the flooring just so it matches and it's nice and new. Same with the appliances, mixed master appliances. I probably will have to go all matching appliances in here. Um, the stove and dishwasher work well, but they're getting pretty old. Obviously, the microwave has been replaced. This house, the owner had put uh, shelf paper on everything, and we just removed that. This is the last piece, but the kitchen was covered in this. You can tell it's oak cabinets, pretty dated as far as the hardware goes. So we'll replace the hardware with just something real simple, modern hardware. Maybe not modern, but at least new, something that goes with the kitchen. The countertops could use replacing, however, I probably won't. I'm looking at them to see if the condition's good enough. There's a couple seams that are a little sketchy, but I think they're just dirty. They'll clean up. It's not pretty, but there's no damage on the countertops or anything. So again, it's hard to justify putting $3 or $4 or $5,000 worth of granite into a rental when what is here is quite fine. Obviously, if there's a condition issue, regardless of the investment and the cost, we would make it right. I like to make my rentals, um, something that I would be happy to live in if I needed to or was asked to or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? The standard is what I would live in. So, minus some of the pretty stuff. I mean, for instance, if this was my house, I'd like, you know, maybe change out the floors or have them match. It's an eat-in kitchen, which makes it really tight. However, I think we'll leave this here. It's pretty functional. If it was me, I wouldn't have these chairs around it. I'm going to get rid of these chairs. The tenant can use their own if they choose to, but I would maybe just have a couple stools on the back, and then other than that, I don't think I'd. It's just too tight to have four chairs around this, especially when you have this nice formal dining room just off of the kitchen. This is more of a catch-all prep area. Kids can do homework or crafts or whatever, but a little tight to eat there every day. From here, we'll go upstairs. This is a 3-bedroom, I believe 2.5 bath home. So carpet's in good condition. It's a little dirty, so I'll have it professionally cleaned. It doesn't look like I need to have it restretched or replaced anywhere, but I'll look closer at it. The whole house is going to have to be painted top to bottom. One thing we always do is brand new smoke detectors. Rightfully so, the city is always picky about smoke detectors. I don't have a problem with that at all, but Urbandale recently has adopted uh, I guess, a policy for rentals where they like everything to be connected. So on some of my rentals in Urbandale, we've actually had to buy the smoke detectors that interlock. So if this one goes off, the whole house goes off. Those are super expensive because they're Bluetooth. The house wasn't wired for it when it was built. So this is the full bathroom for the kids. I think we have to do very little in here. Nice surround. These are awesome for rentals. There's no grout to clean. There's no tile to chip. They don't leak. I'm assuming you can get people not to get the floor too wet around the corners. It just pretty bulletproof way to do a bathroom for a rental. Admittedly, not the prettiest, but probably the most functional. We'll do some hardware and whatnot on these vanities as well. Little hallway here. Again, it has a linen closet. And then this goes into the master. Since it's just a 3-bedroom, the bedrooms are actually really nice size, so plenty big for, a queen or king bedroom. These are the kind of window coverings I'll do. However, instead of trying to clean these, I've found that it's cheaper just to pop new ones on every time. It's too tedious to clean and they're too cheap to bother with that kind of time. Little walk-in closet. Looks like we'll need new shelves in here and some new brackets and things, but keep the same layout, real simple. This house has been through many different stages of remodels. So most places they've painted the trim. You can tell here though, upstairs there are some doors and trim that hasn't been painted. So I suspect I'll decide to just go ahead and paint all the trim white so it matches, looks better, and then in future rehabs it's easier to touch up. This trim here is, you can tell, it's probably hard to tell in the video, but it's pretty scarred up. This is a 3/4 bathroom for the master. Can't see it here, but there is a dark but small shower. Stand up. Those are nice too. It's all fiberglass, so low maintenance. Just need to scrub it once in a while with non-abrasives. This would be the kids' bedroom. Like I said, really good bedrooms size-wise. Again, paint everything in here, has matching closets, and then that light, I'll try the fan. If it wobbles at all, we'll replace it with a flush mount style. But if they're fine, I normally don't tear them out. These are white, so they're not too bad looking. So we're gonna have to do a carbon monoxide tester up here. The city requires that there be one on the second level by the bedrooms. So we'll have the smoke detector here and a carbon monoxide detector up here. You can see outside here for a second. The 2-car garage is in the backyard of this one, and that's part of the reason I own this house, is it isn't as desirable of a layout as, having an attached garage or even a detached garage off to the side or something. The problem with this garage is it's an awesome garage, but it takes up a lot of the backyard. So the seller had small kids. The kids didn't have much of a yard. They had a nice little play area back there, but as far as actual yard to play sports in and run around, just didn't have it. So really nice deck. I'll touch that up in the spring. We won't try to stain it or anything like that this winter. It'd just be next to impossible, and it's going to flake off anyway. But in the spring, we'll go out there and make sure that any exposed wood has stain on it and that it all matches and looks nice. There isn't much. In Iowa, the decks, you can't get stain to last on them for probably more than a few years at a time anyway. So it's something we're always touching up. The basement is finished, however, admittedly quite crudely. This is the foundation wall. They just painted it. Actually looks nicer than the drywall because the drywall was done not by the owner, I don't believe, previous owner, but a long time ago, and it was just crudely done. Whoever did it isn't a drywaller, quite clearly. House came with some nice artwork, but you can tell that they made it work, and that's about the extent of what you can say. Incorrect trim used, exposed screws. They didn't spray the texture. They just kind of, I don't know, flopped it on with, I don't know, whether it was a broom or a sponge or a roller or what they used to get that on there, but it's quite rough. So this is the main electric panel. It's one thing I always do in a house is upgrade this panel as needed right away. This one, however, is already 100 amp and proper modern breakers. So assuming we won't have to do anything with it. We will paint this room. I don't think I'll actually invest too much into making this drywall better. We'd just have to gut it if we we're going to. You can't really repair this. What I do think I'll do is maybe put up a little nicer trim and then paint everything. This basement it's not supposed to be like a nice family room or anything, but it will be a nice, either a hobby room or something for the kids. This is not a bedroom. There's no egress window or anything like that. I don't know, it has split flooring, so in these strange doors. So each of these doors close part way on each side, but there was never anything in the middle. So I don't know if it was a, maybe some sort of a prayer room or music or what they had done with it, but someone had an idea for it, just not sure what it was. So the added space is good value, and like I said, if I was flipping this, everything I'm telling you probably wouldn't hold true. I would likely have to completely redo this basement. In others, I've just torn it out where it's all removed, and then I epoxy the floors nice, paint the walls. That way it's clean, but there's no, if it ever got water, it wouldn't be an issue. So this is the utility room. Furnace is high efficiency. I don't know the exact age, but it looks pretty good. So I'm very happy with that. Same with the water heater. I don't know the exact age, but there's no staining on it. It's definitely a modern water heater from the last couple years. So there's a little bit of marks down by where the fire is, so it's not brand new, but it looks to be in very good condition. The seller left me the washer and dryer, which is awesome, very nice of them. Maytags. What we do is go through these and clean them good. Oh, they're high efficiency, top load. That's actually a really nice washer. So we'll of course leave those for the tenants. In most circumstances, I'll have this line here redone. That's no good at all, so that'll be problematic. We usually do a hard line with that, and then at the proper angles so you don't have those dips. What you get in these dips is that lint and everything will collect. It won't exhaust properly, and more importantly, we could have a fire hazard. So there's a little bit of missing insulation around the edges here. We'll get that all fixed so it's really efficient for the tenant, because my tenants in these single family do pay all utilities. So we don't go crazy with it, but it's important that the utilities are as low as can be and within reason of upgrades. So, but little things like insulating holes and stuff like that is a must, of course. So back up to the kitchen. Like I said, it's a really good layout. There's the garage again. Maybe at some point, if we get a little nicer day, I'll walk around the outside and show you that. Anyway, thanks for walking around with me. I think this is going to make a great rental for a new family. Like I said, in our market, something like this would be, in the mid 200s to purchase and around $2,000 a month to rent. Have a great day. Here you can see a little bit of the outside of the house. I did a quick walk around. You can see the siding's in really good shape, roof and windows and gutter. In the spring, I'll do landscaping, cut down that front tree. Those blue shutters would be painted blue again. I kind of like that contrasting look, maybe a little different shade. This deck, like I said, is going to need new stain. The biggest project is this retaining wall you can see on the right there. That's going to have to come out and be rebuilt. Hopefully I can use the same material. I don't think it'll be an issue for a couple years, but we'll take care of it first thing in the spring. You can see here that relatively small yard, but really nice two-car garage there at the little extra storage. A lot of driveway for the kids to play in here too.